Greetings from Chanel. You're in the perfect place if you enjoy actual entertainment updates and celebrity news. Matt. James never thought of himself as the type of person who would spend a whole afternoon in an upscale clothing store. But something felt different on this specific day. Perhaps it was the gentle sunlight filtering through the structures of the city. Perhaps it was the unplanned free afternoon he was able to set aside. Or perhaps, just possibly, it was because he had some special plans for Rachael Kirkconnell. He hoped to take her by surprise. He also wanted the surprise to be one that people would never forget. Everything began when Rachael left their home in her typical carefree attire. Her hair fell loosely over her shoulders, and she was wearing casual trousers and a basic blouse. After giving her a quick glance, Matt grinned because, without even trying, she always had the appearance of someone who could have been on a magazine cover. However, he wished to slightly improve things today. "Come with me," he said, reaching for her hand and grabbing his jacket. "I've got an idea." Rachael chuckled. "A notion?" "Matt, we ended up eating something you said was chicken at a food festival the last time you had an idea, but it was definitely not. I stand by the choices I made. In addition, the modern concept is far more sophisticated. There are no mystery meats." After that, they set out into the city, strolling hand in hand while Rachael made an educated estimate as to their destination. Rachel's eyes grew wide as soon as they reached the upscale fashion area. Partly amused, partly perplexed, she looked from the glass shops to Matt. "You're going me shopping?" "Hold on. You?" she questioned, sounding shocked. "Yes, the world is full of surprises, and today you get new clothes." She chuckled once again, but her cheeks were flushed. She cherished considerate actions, and Matt was always able to sustain their romance with these unplanned moments. The first store they entered was gorgeous. Soft lighting, high ceilings, and rows of designer objects thoughtfully arranged like works of art. They were greeted with professional grins by sales workers. Matt immediately realized that he had misjudged how opulent this property actually was. "Everything in here looks like it cost more than my first car," he muttered as he leaned over to Rachael. She gave him a playful prod. "Unwind. Most likely, we're just looking." However, Matt wasn't merely observing. He desired for her to enjoy herself, feel unique, and try on items she wouldn't typically choose. And the idea was already succeeding based on the gleam in her eyes. Running her fingers along textiles as she moved through the store, Rachael would occasionally hold a dress up to her body before shaking her head and putting it back. Matt watched her intently, feigning to understand what he was seeing, but primarily just taking in how she glowed with every new piece. He once said, "This looks like something you'd wear if you were undercover at a disco," after picking up a jacket that was excessively glittery. Rachael started giggling. "Matt, that is not how undercover missions work," he insisted, trying not to chuckle. "Well, you definitely blend in." "What about this?" she inquired, holding a silky dress in front of her. Matt gave it a serious look. "That looks incredible, but I'm also 90% sure I'll need to take out a small loan if you try it on." She smiled. "So that's a yes." I gave a deep sigh. "I'm doomed." That was it. With a ton of clothing she couldn't wait to try on, Rachael headed to the changing rooms. Like the devoted companion he was, Matt waited outside. He checks his phone and occasionally strikes up a conversation with passing workers, but he primarily listens for her voice. The first costume, a deep cold, exquisite dress that fit her like a glove, was what she wore when she went out. For a minute, Matt lost his ability to breathe. He straightened up and lifted his eyebrows. "All right." "Not at all." "Not at all." She blinked. "What? You're not fond of it?" "I'm too fond of it. Too many other individuals will enjoy it. It is prohibited by me." Laughing, Rachael fell to her knees. "A clothing cannot be prohibited." "I can, and I just did," he responded, feigning authority as he crossed his arms. However, he knew in his heart that she was beautiful. The subsequent ensemble was even more striking. She looked assertive, self-assured, and runway-ready in this sleek, contemporary garment. Matt dramatically slid onto the couch. "This shop is risky. Like a fashion superhero, you constantly leveling up." Rachael spun around in front of the mirror. "Perhaps my sidekick simply gets impressed easily." Your companion is making a great effort to stay conscious. He made the correction. Employees at the store laughed from the other side of the room. Matt didn't feel ashamed. Making Rachael laugh and letting everyone see how enamored he was were two things he enjoyed. They soon had an expanding collection of clothes that she liked. She was hesitant about one dress, though. It was delicate, timeless, understated, yet sophisticated in a way that brought out a new aspect of her. She kept it near her chest. How do you feel about this one? It's easy, but perhaps too easy. Matt got to his feet, approached, and gently repositioned the cloth in her grasp. It's good to be simple. It's great to be simple. Give it a try. She smiled slightly at him before vanishing once more into the dressing room. When she returned, everything in their immediate vicinity appeared to stop. Matt looked for a moment, attempting to think of something to say. At last, he stated softly but firmly, "That's the one." Even Rachael appeared taken aback. She appeared to notice something new when she looked at herself in the mirror. "You think so?" "I know so," said Matt. "What mattered was that it looked like you." They headed to the checkout counter after reducing their options. Matt readied himself for impact by muttering to himself as though he were going to take a penalty shot during a championship match. Rachael gave him a shove. "Are you all right?" "Absolutely. Never before have I been more emotionally ready for my wallet to suffer." She gave him an arm hug while rolling her eyes. "You're absurd." "I'm romantic," he corrected with pride. The cashier then gave Rachael the exquisitely wrapped parcels after the transaction was complete. With her partner by her side, beaming, she appeared as though she had just stepped out of a magazine, carrying opulent shopping bags on a bright afternoon. Rachael paused and gave him a quick glance as they went outdoors. "Thank you," she murmured. "For what?" "For giving today a unique feel. It's because of you, not the clothes." Grinning, he kissed her forehead and moved a lock of hair out of her face. "Without even attempting, you make everything unique. I am merely a passenger." They made the decision to do something less flashy to round off the day. They ate street food from their favorite cart since that was who they were. 1 minute elegant, the next informal. French fries are served after fashion shows. They were instantly recognized by passersby. Some struggled to control their excitement, while others waved and murmured. "Is this a date, or are you two shooting another fashion commercial?" inquired one fan. Matt chuckled. "Definitely a date, but if any brand wants to pay us for eating fries, we're available." Rachael gave him a lighthearted shoulder slap. "Matt." The fan, obviously delighted by the interaction, laughed and rushed off. Rachael rested her head on Matt's shoulder while they continued to eat. "Do you think this will be discussed?" Matt shrugged after taking a bite. "Most likely, but allow them. All we're doing is what we do." She briefly closed her eyes and grinned. "Our product is really fantastic." "Indeed, it is." People loved them as a pair because of their easy, laid-back connection, quiet laughter, and light-hearted taunting for the remainder of the walk home. They weren't attempting to be flawless. They had no intention of impressing anyone. They were simply being themselves, playful, grounded, and incredibly in love. When they eventually arrived home later that night, Rachael put the luggage on the couch, looked at Matt, and remarked, "You know, you might have started something dangerous today." "Oh no, what did I do?" "Now I'm going to want you to come shopping with me more often." He was appalled as he looked at her. "Rachael, have mercy." She put her arms around his neck while laughing. "Relax, I'll only drag you along for the big stuff." He acknowledged, "That does not make me feel better." Nevertheless, he gave her a kiss since he loved these kinds of moments the most, laughing, joking, and cuddling together. They cuddled on the couch together as night fell. While he waited half sleeping on the lounge chairs, Rachael showed him photos she had taken of him inside the store in secret. "Delete that," he pleaded while chuckling. She teasingly said, "Absolutely not. I will keep it forever." "Blackmail is what that is." "That's love," she clarified. To be honest, Matt was unable to dispute that. Surprises, fashion, laughing, and small moments that anchored and authenticated their relationship had all been a part of their day. Even admirers who learned about it later couldn't help but smile, since it served as another reminder that true love isn't always about expensive dates and upscale shopping. It's about choosing each other every day, laughing at one another's jokes, supporting each other's eccentricities, and savoring the small things in life. And Matt and Rachel were excellent at demonstrating that. One day for shopping at a time. We appreciate you seeing Golden Bachelor. Remember to like, subscribe, and keep checking back for the next big news.